We really need to do some sort of like Power Rangers intro for IPL 5 or something like that. Get the players involved. That'd be fun. That's my new plan.
Go Power Rangers.
That's right. Bring me teenagers with attitude. Okay, well they all have that. I mean,
yeah.
Ah, well, Zordon's not too picky. On the left side of the map,
as long as their ethnic stereotypes match up with the color of their outfit. But
that's right. Of course.
Yes,
you went there. You really went there.
Anyway,
there. On the left side of the map, there's a game going on, Kevin Mackey. Excuse me. Excuse me. All right. On the left side of the map, from the team Check 6, I think this guy needs to win this game, man. I mean, you can't go down 3-0 to Creator.Prime and expect to come back. That is just crazy talk, right? So this guy, Check 6 Sleep, needs to win this game. I really feel that this is a turning point in the match right here, and up at the top of the map is the Protoss player threatening to gain that unbeatable momentum, that unbeatable advantage. It is from the Team Prime, Creator.
If any of you guys are League of Legends fans, by any chance? I know I'm bringing up League of Legends on the StarCraft stream.
All right.
The entire TSM team just walked by the front of our studio, so I'm sure some League of Legends fans out there are happy.
Sure.
But anyway, we should yell at them.
You've just probably gotten yourself some angry tweets, my friend.
It's okay. I love all esports. I do. I really do. I think that the continued, we can call it rivalry between the two games or something like that, is good for the scene. It drives it forward, and I like to see all esports succeed.
Well, as much as I love StarCraft 2, you do need more than one game in esports to make it a successful industry, right? Of course. Right. So yeah, I love seeing other games come up, get fan bases, and be successful, things like that. And I did play some LoL. I haven't played in a couple months now. Definitely playing a lot more SC2. But I thought it was pretty good when I played. It wasn't bad. Yeah. I'll say that.
I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was good.
No SC2, I will say that.
That's right.
That's pretty obvious right there.
I've just been playing, let's see, lately, Diablo, Gran Turismo 5, and now Shoot Mania.
Shoot Mania is so good. We're so lucky. We shouldn't. I always feel like I shouldn't talk about that because
it is under NDA.
That's true. Yeah. We can say it's good.
And we can say we have it, so no.
That's true. That's all we can say, really, though.
Yes. True.
That's right. Otherwise, they will show up at our door with a van, which is amazing because you live on the second floor of an apartment building.
That's true.
So how did they do that?
Honestly.
And then they take your computer, and then that's the end of it.
Yep.
Well, it looks like we have a pretty similar opening for both of these guys here. We have the Nexus down very early for Creator.Prime, unsurprisingly.
Right.
And we also have that very quick Zergling speed from Sleep. This is actually so interesting to me, honestly, that Sleep has been going for these gas openings every single game, that he hasn't gone for that 3-hatch no gas once at all.
Yeah.
That's surprising. That I'll let you talk in a second. Sorry, I have one more thing to quick say. That makes me wonder if Sleep just does not feel very comfortable in this matchup right now against Creator.Prime or just against Protoss in general, because getting that Zergling speed earlier is a sign that you feel that you're going to be under pressure, and you need to be out there to prevent that pressure. So you're willing to take that economic hit to do that. That seems to suggest to me that Sleep is a little bit uncomfortable.
This map is very difficult to pull off that 3-base no-gas style anyway, though, because this map is very similar to Ohana and Entombed Valley, the two maps that we've actually seen so far, in the sense that you take down destructible debris and you have a very easy access over to your third base. And a lot of Protoss players are doing exactly what we're seeing out of Creator. They full wall off the front, they make sure they have enough units so they can stay safe, they take a very quick third. And from that point, it's just so hard to disrupt the production, because Zergs, if they decide to go for that 3-base no-gas style and throw waves of roaches, they're just running into a meat grinder, essentially, because there's going to be a few immortals and sentries, and it's just very difficult to break against that. In this case, though, Creator's actually gone for 3 different builds in all of the games. We saw Game 1, a little more conventional Robo Gateway style, played for the late game, obviously, with Colossi first. In Game number 2, a couple of immortals, mostly very high blink stalkers or very high attack blink stalkers, and in this game, he's opening with a Stargate.
Yeah, okay, so that's going to be kind of interesting. It's going to be, I think, a little bit easier for Sleep to hold off, just because he's going to have, is he going to micro? Nice micro. Killing off a couple, Zerglings there, I guess. Not really an example of nice micro, actually, now that I think about it, but it was pretty good. It was nice, whatever. Anyway, I was talking about something else while I was looking at the screen. That messed me up.
I'm sorry.
I think that Sleep is probably going to be in okay shape to handle this. The big problem that he has right now is that he hasn't scouted it yet. It looks like he may be about to. Oh, he did scout it. Okay, yeah, he just saw it. So now he will be able to add on a few more queens and possibly a spore or two, but we'll see. I mean, it's been months and months and months and months since Stargate play has really killed Zerg players, right? It's been mildly annoying. Sometimes you do a decent amount of damage with it, but you never ever see Zergs die to it. So
the only ones
Sleep had better not die to it after I said all that.
The only ones I've seen really work are the ones that are very all-in-ish, where you tack on a bunch of gateways with it, and you swing with like 3 Void Rays at the same time, and just
the plus
really
one
try to
along with it is okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. But still, it takes a little more concerted effort than just a Void Ray and a few Phoenixes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and the question always comes up with this sort of opening, what is real damage? You know, is killing a couple drones real damage? Is killing a couple queens real damage? You know, what can you really do to Zerg with this that will have a lasting impact, right? And it's tough. I mean, if you kill 2 or 3 drones, they'll just get replaced right away. If you kill a couple queens, you really need to kill all the queens for that to really be very effective, and then have a follow-up push that comes soon afterwards to take advantage of less larva. So it can be a lot more complicated than people think going for this type of opening as Protoss. So I'm very curious to see how Creator's going to follow this up.
Well, it looks like Creator's going to have to contend now with Spore Crawler, of course. They're finally pulling away, taking a little bit of permanent damage on the Void Ray, reinforcing with those Phoenixes now. And he is actually going for 3 gates and a Twilight Council to follow this up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so possibly going to be adding on some Blink play, and there is the Infestation Pit going down for Sleep. So he's going to actually put that down before his Roach Warren. Interesting. Does lose that queen there, but once he gets Infestors out, you know, if he can stay safe until then, this airplay is going to be shut down pretty much completely.
That's right. So now, yeah, you are exactly what you were referring to before. I mean, Sleep's still hitting his timings on all of his Infestors, his third base and everything like that. Yes, he's taken a little bit of losses, but Creator's timings are the ones that have really been set back. You normally have those debris down by now, already going over to a third base, but he sacrificed a lot of that to try and do damage with his Stargate play.
Well, if you think about it, it's just another way of, you know, trying to slow down your opponent, trying to basically just hinder them going into to whatever they want. The problem is, like you said, that it really doesn't do that very effectively. It doesn't really slow down the amount of drones that Sleep can make. And look at this, he gets a nice counterattack at the third, decides it's too many sentries, so he decides not to go for it. Decides to, then decides not to, then decides to go to it, and all right, then decides not to.
Yeah, that's right. Oh,
he's just trying to draw some energy out, which is perfectly fine.
And he did do so, but
worth losing a few links.
Yeah, unfortunately, he didn't really do a lot of lasting damage. There was still plenty of energy to go around on those sentries. Nice job by Creator to sneak in as that's happening, though. Just pick off a few additional units. I mean, not a whole lot, but while Sleep's attention is occupied, just cleaning up a couple of additional things.
Oh, that one Phoenix at the end there is actually very close to death, but Sleep will have Infestors out soon. One good fungal will end that airplay really, really quick for Creator.Prime. But in the meantime, Creator.Prime getting a lot of upgrades really, really fast. I believe that's actually +2 on the way. Yeah. And, oh, look, Creator.Prime not paying attention for a moment, losing a sentry there.
Yes, he did, and looks like, though, this Void Area, finally does get away from the Spore Crawler, was dangerously close to taking some damage. Thought Sleep may have been running in with those links for a second, not just to do damage, but also occupy the attention of Creator, so he would remember that Void Ray, and it would get taken out by the Spore Crawler.
Well, Creator.Prime does get his base scouted yet again. Oh, I don't think that Sleep saw the Robo Bay, though. That could be ending up a little bit important here, but he is going for quick Broodlords yet again, I believe. There should be a Spire coming up fairly soon if he decides to do that. Although there's not yet. I don't know. It's going to be interesting if he goes for something like an Ultralisk Cavern. He could, I suppose. But there we go. Yeah, the Spire. A little bit later than I would expect to see it, but that'll still get up in pretty decent time.
And Creator going to swing in now. What is he going to find? One Spore Crawler, but he can pick off a couple of drones if he so desires. 78 drones up for Sleep, so he's still quite well saturated, even if a couple go down. It looks like that's exactly what just happened there.
Yep. +3 weapons on the way as well, so this is going to be another big Gateway Colossus push with a really strong attacking force. Not really worrying about armor or shields at all, just going right for weapons. And so will Sleep be able to hold this off? It looks like he's the one who wants to get a bit aggressive here.
And Sleep going to swing in a second. Oh, looks like he's going to open at the front by pulling a few units away with the Infested Terrans. Oh, one of the Infestors does go down. A second going to fall here in a second as well, but a Fungal does catch the Phoenixes pretty well. Nice job, actually, by Sleep to save those Infestors there and take out a bunch of air units all at the same time.
Yeah, you got every single one of the Phoenixes. The one Void Ray does still survive, but overall not a bad engagement for Sleep. Didn't really take a lot of losses himself other than just an Infestor or two, so I'd say that's a pretty fair trade. Aspire is finishing right now.
Yeah,
will he go for, immediately goes for that Greater Spire, and now all he needs to do is just kind of sit back and play it safe until he gets that big Broodlord count on. He's got some units to just sack and do a little bit of damage with, but overall he just needs to make sure that his Infestors stay intact here.
That's right. These Lings, they are expendable. He's just going to see whatever damage he can get done, or none, but now the supply's freed up and he's already replacing it with Corruptors. So
yep.
That's what he wanted to do anyway.
I suppose. Probably wanted to trade a little bit with that, but at least, the supply is gone, and he's still just threatening. He's still just trying to keep Creator on his side of the base, and here he goes. Sleep decided to go in. Nice Fungal pinning a lot of the units in place, and this may actually be plenty for Sleep. Wow.
Yeah, no
Crushing
kidding.
this army.
So many units are out of position here for Creator. If he had any of that with him, this would be a lot different story, but as it stands, a ton of damage is being done, and even if Sleep turns around and goes home now, he's going to have plenty of time. He's bought himself plenty of time to start adding on those Broodlords now. He'll be at 10 Corruptors in a second. This is exactly where Creator doesn't want to be.
Yeah, I mean, his Stalkers were so far out of position that Sleep has a big advantage. Now he's going to be able to make Broodlords immediately after the Greater Spire finishes, which is right about now.
There it is.
And how many Broodlords will there be? There's +1 flyer weapons, but no Broodlords just yet. There we go. 5 Broodlords. All right. And so he's going to be in pretty good shape. There's no Templar tech out yet at all for Creator.Prime, just relying on Robo like he often does. And a Dark Shrine yet again. Interesting choice by Creator.Prime. Kind of a late stage in the game to really be doing things with Dark Shrines, but I don't know. I don't feel like this is going to get up in time to really help him.
No, it's also his way of getting to getting to Archon tech as well.
That's also
because
true, yeah.
He's really low on gas at the moment, so it's not like he can drop out a lot of high Templars. So the 125 gas is certainly a little bit more reasonable. So, well, we'll see now. It looks like he's trying to bait that army once again. This is kind of interesting out of Sleep. This is a huge risk for him because those Infestors could get cut off, and it looks like they will, dropping down a couple of fungal growths there. All of the roaches have been cleaned up. At the same time, he decided to attack onto the right-hand side and did force a cancel. The Infestor Terrans are eventually all going to get cleaned up, though. That's
losing those Infestors
huge risk.
He just lost like 6 or 7 Infestors. That is the absolute opposite of what you want to happen. And these Lings, I don't think they're actually going to end up doing that much damage, honestly. Yeah, look at that, building that Dark Shrine. Well, it was already building anyway, but it's still bottlenecked the Zergs, and it won't do anything.
Oh, wow.
Things not going well for Sleep. I mean, this is the 3rd game in a row now where he looked to have been in a very good position and then just made a big mistake, and because of it, is in serious trouble. He's got all these Broodlords, but he really doesn't have anything to keep them safe with. He's trying to remake his Infestors, but his gas income is so low right now that he's not going to be able to efficiently do it. Imagine if he would have had this and like 6 to 8 Infestors and some Lings and Roaches. Would have been in much better shape for this.
All right. Well, we'll see what Sleep can do in response. Now, man, I mean, like, I could have even seen a second round of wasting some Lings and Roaches. That would have made sense. But running up with all of those Infestors, even just from the onset, I thought that was such a big risk, and he did pay dearly for it. So, Creator now trying to go to his 4th base once again. Finally cleans up the Overlord. Looks like he's going to maybe take 2 bases at the same time, which is certainly not a bad decision. He needs the economy very bad, because once these 2 armies fight, he's going to need to replenish that somehow.
Yep, very, very true. So even though he will be a little bit low on minerals, if he does decide to make another Nexus quickly, he still should be in good shape in the long term. And you can kind of see him just moving around the map there. I mean, he's not getting terribly aggressive. He's just trying to kind of bide time. Make sure that, like you said, if he loses that army, he can replace it very, very quickly. So, yeah, Creator.Prime not in a bad spot at all. This does give Sleep a little bit of time to catch up, so he's not out of the running just yet for winning this game.
Well, Dark Templar being dropped here very soon. Unfortunately, there is already a Spore Crawler up, and if he gets in there really quickly, may have the chance to DPS that down before too much damage is done to the DTs, and looks like... well, they're just so high damage anyway.
Yeah, these are +3 Dark Templar, man.
Yeah, that is ridiculous.
Yep, they'll kill things about as fast as things can be killed, really.
That's right.
Yeah, that's going to be it. So this base is going to be done, and how is Sleep going to respond? I mean, is he just going to go for the attack? It looks like he's in that position where he's just not very mobile. He has a ton of Broodlords right now, but just not a lot to back it up.
That's right, and unfortunately he's going to have to watch out now. Oh, he needs to land a fungal on that. Creator could get that War Person away if he wanted to, but looks like he's feeling charitable right now.
Yep, that's about it. He's got the DTs in the base. That is fine. And Fungal on the Observer. Ah, there we go. Oh, but there is the Observer there, of course, so the DTs will see it right away.
That's right. And one of the Infestors does go down, and a few DTs have taken out a base now for Sleep. This is not where he wants to be. 3 more gateways being added on now, and Carrier has arrived.
Wow.
With Graviton Catapult as well, so Creator going for a full-on Carrier switch.
Yeah, feeling very, very comfortable here. And, I mean, this is what you do in a long best-of situation. He's very far ahead in this game. He thinks he's got the opportunity to make Carriers work, and he's going to do a decent amount of damage with these DTs yet again. Oh, actually didn't go after the Spore, so that didn't work out.
Right. So
yeah,
now
never mind.
Creator is in, well, I mean, he's got a ton of resources banked up. He's adding on Void Rays as well, so he is going to have an incredibly strong late-game air army, but he certainly does have to deal with a ton of Broodlords out now for Sleep, but Sleep doesn't have any Corruptors to back it up. It's just purely Infestors for now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a kind of an awkward situation. He has some Infestors to kind of fungal things in place and all that, but he's really going to count on having those Broodlords do a ton of damage. I mean, if they don't, that's going to be the end of the game. And he is, I mean, he's trying to retake those bases, but I don't know. It's the damage from Carriers, though, from Sleep, on the other hand, is very inefficient. Carriers, for what they cost and the rate they fire at, are actually very low damage units overall.
Who was the player, though, who just came out and was like, Carriers are actually a lot better than we all think they are. They're just being used wrong.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm still of the school of thought that it's kind of like the Ultralisk. It's very, very difficult to find a time where they're, really good, to use.
Whoa! Broodlords are so good at killing buildings. I'm sorry, that's just ridiculous. Broodling Strike doing 24
nice fungal
damage.
there.
Pins down a lot of that anti-air, and Creator does lose some units. Again, reproducing a few Stalkers for now, warping in some more Void Rays finally, and that Mothership is coming up as well.
Oh,
but
man,
for
here
now,
we go.
looks like Sleep going to try and force the engagement. He does have so many Broodlords hanging overhead. Finally, a couple of Corruptors up as well. They've dealt with a few of the Interceptors. Just one Carrier out for Creator at the moment.
Well, the Broodlords will kill things very, very quickly if he has the time. We'll see. The Broodlords getting blinked under.
Yeah, getting blinked under, not too much damage being done, though. Just actually, none of the Broodlords have gone down. There's the GG. Yep. Sleep takes a game back, very late game fashion there. Was able to hold on despite a few mistakes, a couple key ones, actually. Was able to still hold on.